I'll admit that I'd never wanted to visit the Costa del Sol, dismissing it as a concrete jungle devoid of any culture. But I was passing through anyway, and it was off-season, and after a bit of research, I realised that I might be wrong. So come with me to be surprised by Marbella and Puerto Banús. Marbella is a city of over 100,000 people, but the population of the urban area swells to over 500,000 in the summer months. As you enter the city from the west, it feels more like California, before suddenly you appear in what looks like another modern Spanish city. But Marbella holds a large secret. Away from the busy streets lies an old town that's almost traffic-free and pretty much unchanged in centuries. It was the Caliphate of Córdoba that built a large fortress here, the Alcazaba, and the streets that surround it are almost unchanged since those days. In 1485, there was a peaceful transition of power from Muslim rule to Christian rule. The Spanish set about making some changes to the urban landscape, principally by creating some much-needed public squares. The main one of those is La Plaza de las Naranjos, or Orange Tree Square. The imposing building on the north side of the square is the Ayuntamiento, the town hall. Built at that time, it remains in operation to this day. My accommodation is La Villa Marbella, a collection of tastefully renovated houses in the old town, which together are about as far away as you could possibly get from a typical hotel on the Costa del Sol. It's 9:30 in the morning and it feels like I'm walking around an isolated Andalusian hilltop village, not the centre of a large modern city. Now, the narrow alleyways of the old town are captivating during the day, but at night it feels like you've walked onto a film set. It's great fun to aimlessly wander the streets of the old town at night, discovering charming little street chapels and hidden squares. Just one problem though, I'm not quite sure where my hotel is. Now, there are two museums here in Marbella that you should find time to visit: the Engravings Museum and the Museo Dalí, which is on the road out to Puerto Banús. Unfortunately though, if you time your visit for a Sunday and Monday, like I have, you'll find that they're shut. But fear not, because there's world-class public art here too, courtesy of Salvador Dalí. Now, of course, if you're a big fan of Dalí, then the place of pilgrimage is the museum in Figueres in Catalonia. But here on the Avenida del Mar, right in the city centre, you get the chance to get up close and personal with these weird and wonderful creations. I've read that the sculptures were purchased for the city by Jesus Gil. Now, Jesus Gil ran this city in the 90s and was a, well, controversial figure. He was a populist and extremely outspoken, not only in politics but also in football. as he was the president of Atletico Madrid. His reign ended, perhaps predictably, in a corruption scandal, but at least he left one abiding legacy to the city. The final sculpture on the avenue is by this Spanish artist Eduardo Soriano. To the liberty of expression. I couldn't agree more. Now, from works of art in bronze to those of the edible variety. I'm going to pop in for a quick coffee and breakfast at my favourite little cafe here in Marbella, and then we'll catch a bus to Puerto Banús. Now, I love socialist realism. The bigger, the better. But it's really surreal to see such an enormous example here on the Costa del Sol. Then again, if the mayor of Moscow wants to send you a gift, it's very rude not to accept. As you enter the town, you cannot fail to miss the rhinoceros. The 3-ton rhinoceros, courtesy of the surreal mind of Salvador Dalí. Its full title is Rhinoceros Dressed in Lace, and it is absolutely magnificent. I've seen photos, but they don't do it justice. It was donated to the town in 2004, and whilst the idea of public art is for as many people to see it as possible, and sitting here it certainly gets seen every day, I do question whether this incredible piece of art might deserve better than a traffic island. Puerto Banús is a world-famous millionaire's playground, but when I was born, there was nothing here at all. So what's the story? Well, it's all about tourism. The age of tourism really began here in 1954 with the opening of the Marbella Club Hotel, which attracted royals from across Europe to enjoy this sun-drenched part of Spain. It wasn't long before celebrities followed, and after that, a few less savoury characters as well, as long as they had money. Then the real money started arriving, with the likes of King Fahd of Saudi Arabia. With more and more money arriving to this part of Andalucía, the developer, José Banus, saw a great opportunity. He teamed up with the architect, Noldi Schreck, who had fame for work in Mexico and, more importantly, Beverly Hills. Now, it helped that Banus was a great friend of General Franco, so he had no problem at all getting all the permissions that he needed. And what he created here with his architect was an entirely purpose-built village for the rich and famous. In 1970, the complex was opened with a lavish party which served 22 kilos of beluga caviar to its guests and had a certain singer named Julio Iglesias as the cabaret act. The motto of the local tourist office is Puerto Banús, like no other. And there's absolutely nobody that can disagree with that. If you're curious to see what a cocktail of Andalucía, Dubai and Los Angeles might look like, then this is your place. Personally though, I'm going to head back to the old town in Marbella. I was wrong to think that there was no culture here. The city and its surroundings offer something for literally everybody. But the highlight for me has to be the old town. And what's even better is that at any time of the day, you only have to dive down one alleyway and you'll find yourself completely alone. That's all that I've got time for, so please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you on the next journey.